Welcome to the big debate, my friends. You know we gotta have this debate. Let's get rolling. Have you ever heard that AI music was garbage? You know, the people who go around saying AI music is rubbish, it's garbage, no one's gonna listen to it, it's soulless. Well, let's talk about something wild. Take a look at the graph on the screen. This is a reflection of something wild that happened. And this was on YouTube, a channel that lots of you know about called Almost Real. This channel absolutely exploded. Take a look at the insane numbers from zero in September, late September, all the way to an average of 500,000 views daily, riding that wave, climbing. This exploded to 12 million views in 3 weeks, my friends. Take a look at that. And 242,000 subscribers. And then, poof, in the blink of an eye, take a look at the rapid descent there from 500,000 to zero. What happened? Every single video vanished. That's what happened overnight, like some kind of digital rapture. And here's the thing that's really fascinating: the internet, contrary to what the skeptics were saying, oh, people don't like AI music, they'll hate it, right? Because you and I have been watching the AI music conversation for a while, and there's been this consistent thread from the skeptics. You know the type. We have them show up on the channel all the time. They show up in every comment section saying AI music is soulless, it's garbage, nobody wants this. Real musicians will always win. This is just a fad for the tech bros. But here's what just happened that I think absolutely demolishes the argument. You see, when those videos disappeared, my friends, and let's talk about how you can track what really happened over time, because you know, nothing done on the tube goes undocumented. Nothing done on the web goes undocumented. And how will you find that out? Well, you go to the likes of the Wayback Machine, and you're able to see from here when this video, which is a video that was being searched for, went missing. Let's click on when the video first appeared. And we have 6 snapshots of this video on the 30th of September. But if you click on that in the Wayback Machine, it takes a snapshot of that time period and shows you the video that was up there. And when this video disappeared, grown adults were posting things like, I'm physically hurt. This is the saddest day of the year. Someone said, I've been crying. Someone said they brought a premium subscription just for this channel. So there's Fiddy. There he is. This was the video. And if you wanted to understand the videos that were up, you can always go back to the Wayback Machine. So the evidence hasn't gone. For those of you who thought it had, it hasn't. It's there in plain sight, right? All of the comments. And you can see how crazed people were about this stuff. People, people saying, thank you, dear sir. Very important video. Wow. And different languages. This isn't just the West. Okay? Now, stay with me, okay? Because I know some of you are beginning to tune out. You think I've sold out. I haven't sold out, but I'm trying to help you see how crazed people were about this stuff. They were frothing at the mouth for it. They were there every second, every bit for it. So the argument concerning AI music and people hating it and it being soulless, this flips the argument on its head. One person bought a YouTube premium subscription just for these songs, and they immediately canceled it when the videos went down. Another person said they were playing these songs at their job and dancing, right? And when they came back the next day, everything was gone and they were genuinely devastated. Now, if you do a little bit of sleuth work, you'll notice two things. The Almost Real channel went away, but there's an Almost It channel now, quickly gaining views. What does this tell you? Look at that. 6,000 views 3 days ago. Some of these are obviously reposts of the music that was taken down. But what does it tell you? People love this stuff. Now, if you go to the Almost Real channel, it's not gone. The videos are gone. But there's a rather interesting post here that I want to highlight. And if you go to this post, it says 12 million views, 100 million views from others posting our covers. And over here, they have a rather interesting image of several revenue sharing notices. It says all our tracks had DistroKid mechanical licensing for covers, which legally approved for release onto streaming platforms. Here's our receipts. So they're showing you that they weren't trying to cause any havoc, right? They weren't trying to get anyone mad. But what I found even more fascinating, my friends, wasn't their post, it was the comments. And honestly, when you take a look at the comments, the comments are pretty colorful. And I'll probably have to read some of these comments for you. Someone said, "Man, that hurts." Another said, "I'm physically hurt. I just discovered this last week and was jamming too many." Another one said, "Music is changing, but the industry isn't. There were some jams on this channel." And some other colorful language, which I won't even read. This is one that drives it home. "Earlier today, I wondered why I couldn't play 21 questions on Spotify. Should have downloaded the content. Then I was too relaxed." This person is actually expressing regret, like they missed their chance to save something precious. Now, stay with me here because this is where the argument of AI music does not connect. It's soulless, it's false. This is where it falls on its head because here we are. And I mean, you got to look at, the people who are commenting. These are fully grown adults. Lament about these songs. That should go a long way to tell you, my friends, that people do not look at AI music as soulless. Those of you skeptics, I respect your opinion, but I want you to understand that you're wrong because AI music does connect. If it's the right seasoning, the right lyrics, the right environment, okay, the right song, how about that? That flips the argument from a lot of the skeptics. And I'm wondering, where are all the skeptics who came out shouting, "AI music is stealing"? Where are they now? I don't see any of them commenting on these posts. Oh, well, let me take that back. Maybe they are few. You see, so let's acknowledge something important. The skeptic said nobody wants AI music. But when it disappeared, take a look. The picture doesn't lie. Go to the channel, check out what people are saying. People are up in arms about it. See that? This is not fake engagement. This is not bot traffic. This is real human emotion. You are my inspiration. These songs were my daily playlist since you first started uploading. Now what? Crying emoji. Your remake of Alice in Chains, Nutshell, was my favorite song. We've been robbed of excellence. This is crazy. I mean, and it goes on and on. One person actually, in one of the threads that I'll show you here, this is really what started this rabbit trail. Because on AI music on Reddit, if you are tuned into Reddit, someone said, how do channels like Almost Real create their music? I'm sure many of you are following the advent of certain YouTube channels that are gaining traction with AI generated cover songs, like this one. Let's click on it. Uh oh. Well, thank goodness we have the Wayback Machine, because this is the song that is now deleted. So, what can we glean from all of this? A number of things, right? The skeptics were wrong about the demand. Going back over here, the numbers prove it. And when the numbers prove it, you gotta ask the question, how how did they even pull it off in the first place? They've been riding this wave for going to a month before they were shut down. Now, I've got questions. I see my buddy NLJ and Pfizer. I want to give a shout out to you guys because you've been following the channel ever since. And you're very good in what you do, right? I learned about some of these tools as a result of Not Lay Jano, right? Pfizer, I know you got great numbers, great play, but what did they do? How did they pull this off? Did they use a tool that you guys know about? What about the general populace, the folks watching right now? I want you to comment. What are your thoughts? I know some people are in the middle and like, I'm just going to watch it play out. But it's good to have an opinion, right? It's good to ask that mysterious question. How did they do it? And what do I feel about this industry? What do I feel about how it's looking right now? Because right now it's looking rather interesting. The skeptics have egg on their face. The skeptics who told us you're sellouts. No one will ever listen to that garbage. It will never be artifact free, such and such, yada yada. Now we see fully grown adults crying. And I'm not laughing at their sadness, right? I'm laughing at the ignorance that was on display when people told us human beings are smarter than that. They will never buy into AI music. Flocks and flocks and droves. I'm 200,000. Are you kidding? And I don't know if you took a look at the Spotify channel as well. Their Spotify channel has got over 220 something thousand. So, NLJ, what are your thoughts? Tell me, talk to me. NLJ said the most common method: find a cover song or song in the style you want, edit and change it, then use replay to change the voice. You know, I haven't looked into that, but I'm sure there's a way. There's definitely a way, and I don't think it's the way Joe Rogan's producer was saying. No, definitely not. And what about you, other experienced AI music producers? Comment right now. I want to know what you're thinking, because some of you know the tricks, and I'm not saying tell the entire trick. I'm just quite impressed at how one group of people are able to get everything artifact free, and they're banging them out so quick. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not looking to do it again. I am only curious from a technical standpoint how they were able to get around the, like, I don't know whether it's Suno or Udio, or I don't know what it is. So that's interesting. I need to look more. So when you say replay, are you talking about Sonalto? Are you talking about Suno? Are you talking about Udio, NLJ? Which one is you're talking about? Suno, I presume. But getting it into Suno in the very first place is problematic. You can't do that in Suno. So I'm just thinking out loud. But oh, okay, that's a mystery to me because I never. Okay, okay. So that's exactly what I was saying. There has got to be some underground software that a lot of people are not talking about that enables people do whatever. Okay, I see, I see. I had not heard about that, so that's an education for me. Is that a US? Okay, it's free. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we're getting an education about this. It's good to know about these things because as people in the industry, We should know what is out there. I'm not saying go out and use any of these tools. I'm not even promoting Suno. For those people who don't want to use I stand by you. You have the right to not use AI. And for those who want to use AI, you have the right to use AI. So let's get it straight. I'm not trolling anyone here. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't use it. I'm just curious to know the dynamics. But thank you, NLJ, for commenting because I'm not as schooled, and I knew that you knew more about this stuff because you've been into this um, world. Okay, okay. Just the name of the site. I think you've done well by mentioning the name because a lot of us were clueless. But then again, it has got to be a really right on par with Suno kind of a site for them to create like artifact free stuff. Maybe anyway, that's for a different conversation. But let's probe a little bit more into this interesting aspect because you know what this does for people like us, NLJ, who make our own stuff, who cook our own food, who kill and eat our own stuff. Faizo, I know you too. You kill and eat your own stuff. Well, it goes a long way to show you that maybe there is an audience for your story being told in a different light using artificial intelligence. Maybe, just maybe. Have you ever heard that AI music was garbage? The people who go around saying AI music is rubbish, it's garbage, no one's going to listen to it, it's soulless. Well, let's talk about something wild. Take a look at the graph on the screen. This is a reflection of something wild that happened. And this was on YouTube, a channel that lots of you know about called Almost Real. This channel absolutely exploded. Take a look at the insane numbers from zero in September, late September, all the way to an average of 500,000 views daily. So just think about that number, 500,000 views. That's that is a chunk of change. I mean, mathematicians, do the math. Do the math, and you realize that we're not talking about small numbers here. In fact, someone did a calculation to the tune of, I think it was going on 80,000 in like a very short period of time. So that's definitely food for thought. So minefield to being a collaborative playground. The future of AI music is likely to drastically change as these hurdles and bumps in the road are negotiated, because you know what the record labels are going to say next. Well, give us our card, we'll be happy. But they cannot preempt the agreements with Suno and Udio, because who knows how some of these tracks were created. We can speculate that there might be an underground AI tool that bypasses all security. I mean, after all, it's coding. It's code. Okay? Code can always bypass any security check. And if there's a mastermind rogue AI tool in the basement, it will be used over and over again. And what they're talking about now is going into the underground, the dark web of AI covers, because people need their fix. Okay? So if you want to drive them into the underground of the OnlyFans, because people here was suggesting to the channel, why don't you go underground and just float it to us? People want to pay. People are saying, take my money. The market has spoken. There's really a lot to learn from this. This is going to make a lot of purists uncomfortable. But I think what we need to do is sit with it. Sit with it. It could be a very slippery slope, though. And here's why. It's a legal minefield. Now, despite the channel showing we got all these licenses, why did their videos get pulled down? Well, mechanical licenses, they claim they had one. Well, it's only for faithful covers, those that adhere faithfully to the original. Synchronization was mentioned, pairing music with audio. Well, that's required for YouTube. It was mentioned somewhere, but again, who knows? What about derivative licenses? That's the big one, and adaptation. And that, changing melodic character, not disclosed. I didn't see anything about that. You require that for genre transformations that you're looking to monetize, that you're looking to put out there. And the right of publicity, voice, likeness. Some of those voices are pretty close to the original owner's voices. And I'm not saying in their music, I'm saying just generally in the AI covers that are out there. And that's what gets people fascinated. But I think the truth about that, NLJ has given us a blueprint of how that works. I want to give a shout out to our friend Gio, the Explorer. Welcome, welcome. KP, welcome, welcome. Gio says, I was able to restore and remix professional recordings I made in the 80s from a studio project I collaborated on. The quality from the AI platform is light years ahead. I can understand that for the 80s, for sure. I mean, we're talking about tape still back in those days. Yeah. NLJ said that rules. Yeah, the 80s. NLJ says, my advice, do your experimenting with cover songs and put them out for free. Do not charge for other people's. Yeah, the moment you put in a terminal, a payment terminal in front of your videos, well, you're in trouble. And I think that's really what happened here. And while I understand that people are very attached to the music, we have to ask a number of questions. First of all, was YouTube's laws and rules satisfied? Was, whichever tool, and if they used a tool such as what NLJ said, I guess that takes that discussion off the table. And that probably explains how all these channels are doing it. And I need to go look more into it. But I appreciate you coming through, Geo the Explorer. Other friends who are watching, if you got any comments, what are your thoughts about this? Do you feel sorry for the almost real people? I mean, they're showing receipts. They're showing that they didn't mean any harm. They're not looking. They're just trying to create music. I know at the same time you got to do things ethically and honestly. But I'm curious, what do you think? Were you one of the fans, one of the almost real fans? Do you feel hurt? Tell me why you were so drawn to the music, because I want to know what evokes that emotion in us humans. Because the skeptics said, "Oh, they're not going to like it. People are going to catch on that you're fraud. You're using AI." But these people know, and they couldn't care, and they're getting pretty emotional. One of the users said, "Let's go underground. Let's go to OnlyFans. Just charge us. We don't care. We don't mind. We just want to hear this music again." A lot of crying emojis and full-grown people, to put it politely. Let me know what you think. And that's not addressed. So, my friends, there are a number of things that we have proven from our little adventure. Number one, you do AI covers, expect prizes such as takedowns. Like this. It's not a pretty picture. Now, if you go back to their YouTube, what I like about them is they didn't just run away and leave the fans high and dry. They promised, look at this. All of our tracks had DistroKid mechanical licensing. Then they go a step further. They're showing you, let's click on it. They're showing you right here all of the music and proof that they're ready to revenue share. Let's read more. It says, also, here's our receipts for the YouTube channel synchronization licenses, which automatically split the majority of the revenue to the original artists for the world to see. And they're sharing that. See that? But there's some pretty interesting comments here. Man, that sucks, bro. These were some legendary tracks in there. I'm really hoping someone downloaded everything. I had to literally one day I had literally one day to listen to it. And all these other colorful ones. I just shared your channel with someone this morning talking about how great your work is. I'm sorry this happened to you. Business idea. You can make a deal directly with the artist to make a cover. 50 still has your cover on his Insta. Maybe other artists will share your music. You make it and they post it. And this person goes on saying thoughts, and their response is genius. I love this idea. And so many others. You can go read it for yourself. This, my friend, is an emergent story. I don't want you to feel like I am promoting the bypass of copyright law. I am not. This video, let's get it straight, is for me to illustrate to the skeptics who said AI music is garbage, AI music is soulless. I'm here to flip that on its head. Now, what are you saying? AI skeptics, come out and debate it. Drop me a comment. Tell me what you think about this. I'm not debating whether it's right or wrong. I know any copyright violation in my book, I have zero tolerance. But what I want to debate is, what do you have to say about the people out there? You know, the public, they'll never let you down. They'll tell you how they're feeling. There are a lot of people feeling quite opinionated right now. They want this channel back. Now, going a step further, let me also illustrate to you that these guys are on Spotify still. They still got a few songs on Spotify. Let's see how many songs are still up. There's still quite a lot. There's 10 songs that are still up. And huge views and counting. 227,000 listeners. I want to see what Rick Beato has to say about this. I want to see Rick's take on it. I want to see what the other musicians have to say. Do you think this model will fly in the future? Where there's a bag, the eagles gather. Seems like there's a bag here. And I think as long as the big boys and girls can get their share, they might be happy. Or maybe they want to eat alone. Maybe they just want to eat it all alone. Own the rights from A to Z. Everything that is done belongs to them. They ain't sharing. They ain't giving you 20% or 30% or whatever percent. They're eating it all. Because when we talk about the millions, because this could very well be a multi-billion business. Do you know how many views these channels, I'm not just talking about AlmostReal, I'm talking about all the channels that do AI covers. If you add them all together, the money is insane. You know how many checks you could distribute of a substantial amount? Let me know what you think. Draw me a comment. Those of you watching, I know you got ideas, you got opinions. Share your opinions. Don't die with your opinions. You got to share them. Put them in the comments. I want to know what you're thinking. Okay? LJ says we need to make a community for fans on Discord. So we got a Reddit. It seems like Reddit is a bit dormant. No, we don't have people buzzing on Reddit. But yeah, we got a Reddit. It just isn't getting a whole lot of traction. Let me put it in there. This is what I want, where people can share their views. Oh, you don't like Reddit? Reddit is the poster child for freedom of expression, freedom of, and where Big Brother, well, maybe Big Brother comes through, but that's one option. But we haven't had a whole lot. But yeah, we can have multiple platforms as long as you guys show up to debate and discuss, because I really want to know what you're thinking. Most importantly, I want to know what together we can collectively agree on and, decide the way forward might be. So I was thinking, taking a look at this AlmostReal Spotify numbers. Take a look at these numbers. These numbers aren't one bit shabby. And what I'm thinking is, if an artist can eat from people doing their covers, even with AI, is that bad? If Fiddy wants a, he's beyond rich, right? But if he wants another check by letting people do covers of his song, who are we to begrudge him? You know what I'm saying? Artists, because some artists they find it very amusing. They're not about the money. They just like the art, the artistry behind people doing covers of their songs. If they want to do that and the record label says no, is there going to be a tug of war there, or should people just allow these channels be? The reason why they can't allow them be is because, like NLJ said, there's a cash register in front of the video. And I quite agree with your solution, NLJ. If people just back away from the cash register, put the music out there, don't even look for a dime, yeah, you probably won't get any pushback. Yeah. So to parody stuff, exactly. I think the problem with what people have done is the AI clauses. But you've talked about a tool. I have to go investigate because I know nothing about that tool. Does that tool have any rules? I know it's free, like Sonalto, but does it have any rules? Is it like a free for all? Do what you like. Put in just prompt till the cows come home with people's names and people's MP3s. Is that how it is? Because if that's how it is, then that tool, and honestly, NLJ, when okay, so we're not going to be able to police those tools the same way Suno and Udio are being policed. I mean, even Toonie allows names, I think. So you can police the big two or the big three, but I think they're going to run out of steam. I think it's going to get to the point where, yeah, you cannot police you cannot police 100 clones of Suno, because we're soon going to be having Suno clones, and then you're not going to be able to do anything about it. Geo the Explorer said, reminds me of the 80s when hip hop artists were lifting rock riffs. That's true. I was flattered when our stuff was borrowed. We made new friends. Yeah, nobody was thinking of any any royalties back then. And the great Bob James, he had some of the most iconic jazz songs that were used in that vein as well. But now the game has changed. So I'm just wondering, you know, if every song existed in infinite forms and the artist made money from it, it'll be better for them, right? Motown version, heavy metal version, lo-fi version. Will people get fed up of it? NLJ said, if I was a thief and maliciously minded, I could rip off anything without ever flagging copyright, but why do that? I'd rather be creative. Absolutely. KP, I know. KP says, all my music is licensed Creative Commons 4.0 remix with credit to me. That is awesome. I want to be like you when I grow up. I I appreciate your open source mindedness, KP. That is really awesome. Yeah. So I think the future is going to be very interesting, just seeing things unfold. But do you think the record labels will eventually, beckon to the AI artists and say, go ahead and remix, just give us the entire bag? Do you think they're going to negotiate to pay any amount or share any amount? It's going to be interesting seeing how it pans out. But I think if generation such as it has become stays cheap, I think it's going to come down to the quality. Because what I kept hearing about the real people is quality, quality, quality. NLJ said, what about dance music? It's very common in dance music to flip or reggae. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. As long as you pay the artist. Well, we had a lot of DJs making tons of money from doing that. Yeah. Royalties are the answer. It's a fair thought. Now, what do you think the skeptics will say? Do you think the skeptics will ever acknowledge they were wrong in saying AI music is garbage? I don't know where those people are now. NLJ, FISO, KP, Geo. I don't see these people coming out to say, well, all these AI covers are garbage. So the argument of the skeptic seems to be more like you're wrong to do it, but they're not saying it's garbage. How is this any different to a DJ remix? That's a very good question. So, a DJ remix that is out there has gone through the proper licensing and is not using an artificial intelligence voice to either clone the voice or create the music. And they probably have a derivative license. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selling it, right? They have a mechanical license, they have a derivative license. They're not trying to clone the voice or the likeness. But I know there's some rogue, of course, you have rogue DJs, just like you have, rogue, people. But yeah, I think if the record labels come off their high horse, and I mean, then we're in the quagmire of what counts for a good song. Because if Suno and the likes of Udio do not allow this, then we have a few AI tools that can do this well, such as the one you kindly let us know about. But we have the Spotify's of this world saying we're going to get rid of AI slop. Will this count as AI slop? It's on Spotify. Take a look. It's still there. Take a look, and the numbers are not small. 25,900, 15,000 for T-Pain's track. And the numbers, now they only have 10, they had a whole lot more. And for those of you who don't know how to go back in time, go to the Wayback Machine, just Google Wayback Machine. And when you go to the Wayback Machine, you can see all the activity of this video and other videos on this channel. So while a lot of the videos have been, pretty much all the videos have been shut down. Like if you go to their channel, you don't see a single video. Not a single video. That's it. But the numbers don't lie. 242,000 subscribers. So where are the skeptics who said you folks are thieves, you're deluded, AI music is whack, don't do it. Now who's wrong? They were wrong. The numbers don't lie. And guess what? A replacement channel almost it. Within a few days of them getting rid of Almost Real. Oh my goodness. Did you see that? Uh, a change of, I think it was at least 100 subscribers in the past few minutes we've been talking. It's gone up by 100 subscribers. It's growing. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, oh, go ahead. And what I'm musing at is the reality that people will gravitate towards whatever moves them. Now, I know that these folks already have a head start on the lyrics, right? The lyrics, people are already emotionally attached to the lyrics, but they know it's AI. They're still doing it. Now, this is a sympathizer channel. It says the number one source for high quality AI assisted original music. This channel will never be monetized. All credit belongs to the original artist and the OG, most almost real. Please follow this channel for re-uploads. No, this channel is not affiliated with Almost Real AR in any way. We're just a team of also passionate about music and keeping these covers alive until AR finds their feet again. We're Deeply indebted to AR for their groundbreaking AI covers. Okay, out of New Zealand. Interesting. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you think about this drama that's unfolding. So, at the time I put out the video from much earlier, I wasn't aware of any of this. And I want to give a shout out to a subscriber who let me know about this. It was someone who left a comment on the video earlier today. So, shout out to you. Thank you for that because that brought to my attention that Almost Real had been shut down. I was not aware of that prior. And when I heard that, I went on a wild goose chase looking for which videos still existed, and that's when I went to the Wayback Machine and realized, oh, it's true, it's really shut down. And then I found their channel and the Almost It channel. So, yeah. Faizo said AI music is not going anywhere. I agree. I agree. LJ said in traditional non-AI music cover songs, yeah, yeah, in traditional music, yep, cover songs happen all the time. I mean, I've done my fair share of cover songs. I did a house version of all things of Gimme the Night. And of course, the moment I put it up, the owners came calling and said, "This is ours." And I'm like, "Yes, sir, it is. Go ahead. Monetize it all you want." I just did it for the fun of it. I wasn't even thinking remotely. And a lot of other tracks, back in the day, they actually would go in, and I'm talking about the early 2000s, late 2000s, 2007, 8, 9. They would go in there and they would, "Hey, B Walter, thank you for coming through. Let me know what you think about this new development. Thank you for the props there." But back in early 2000s, they would manually go through the songs and they would find those that you were trying to do covers of, and they just say, "This is ours," and they just take over. Like my "Gimme the Night," George Benson. Yeah, I'll give George money all day long, you know, all day long, because artists deserve to be paid for their music. On one of my channels, I got a copyright claim for my own music. For my own music. So, I mean, people should do what they need to do to make sure that their music is monetized and it goes to the rightful owner. My Suno channel, I think it's AI music. I can't remember what I've made it. I think it's AI music by design or something, but it's hidden. My Suno channels are hidden, and they're hidden because I put so much work into my music that I don't want it remixed. I want to do the remixes. I want to do whatever I want with the music, but it's behind the wall. Yeah. Um, NLJ said, I did a cover of If Pablo Was a Rascal, I'll Just Never Sell It. Okay. I need to go check out your alternate channel. Okay. Really? Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Well, we got a lot of people in the community. We should, when possible, exchange. If you want to put your at sign on Suno, we have a lot of people who love listening to what people are doing. Yeah. So, and you won't find a whole lot. So on NLJ's channel, there's some songs from last year. He's been in the game longer than some of us have, but I could tell that had a lot of human intervention, and that's how it should be. You shouldn't be listening to an AI track saying, "Oh yeah, this is all AI." It would be nice to listen and say, I actually can't tell. What made me know there was some intervention was it was a very spatial mix. You can tell when AI mixes because everything's so close together and centered in a lot of the tools, not all of them, but it's all very middle, all center, as opposed to having some space, some width, and I could tell that. Yeah, yeah, I can tell, and that's good, and I'm not saying everyone should be like that, but I like to be like that. I like your approach, where you're bringing new things into the mix and you're taking the stems into your door and you absolutely. Yeah. That's interesting. Put your Suno. What's your Suno handle? Put it in there for us, and I tell you, some of us will go check it out. But going back to our discussion about these folks, you know, the almost real people, they're just one, and I think you should say they're the poster child. But there's still a lot of other channels that are alive. But I think making, making them the subject of this whole thing is making other channels very afraid. You see, it's one thing if you didn't have a reputation before, you didn't have followers, and then you suddenly have this meteoric rise. That's one thing. But if you have a lot of followers from previous and you've labored to get to 1,000, 2,000 subscribers, 3,000, you're not going to throw it all away by by messing around with this slippery slope. Or maybe some people, maybe they'll take the risk. I tell you, I wouldn't. I don't want to risk because it's a community build. I see channels as a community, and just as you can see here, all the people commenting on their posts, a lot of comments. People are not happy. 448 comments on a post, not a video, a post. Not a post. The saddest day of the year. JW says, I had a feeling something like this would happen. This was on track to be the biggest channel for AI music covers, and it got taken away. SMH. Oh dear. And oh, look at this one. Create a Patreon and re-add the songs. People will pay for it. We are begging for you to re-upload somewhere. Oh my goodness. What a shame. These songs were wonderful. And I regret not loading them earlier. Such a pity. I if I feel this pain. Look at look, these are very strong words. These are very strong words. If I feel this pain, I can't imagine the pain your team is going through. You see this? Please keep posting keep posting songs on Spotify. You guys did amazing work. That's why there's an issue. Hope to hear your work again. You are my inspiration. Now, honestly, I mean, a lot of folks saying I had a feeling this was going to happen. Of course it was going to happen. Come on now. Yeah. YouTube has not demonstrated they're ready for this, right? Warner, Sony, are you kidding me? You think they're just going to sit idly by while you AI monetize their artists? You kidding me? No matter what the artist says, the label will always go against whatever the artist says that's not in alignment with their own copyright philosophies. Look at this one. Please share these again on a private website or something not owned by the mob. Oh my goodness. Someone's crying about Billie Jean. No way, man. I knew it was gonna. I'm shocked. Guys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, talk to me. Talk to me. Why do you think people are so emotional about this stuff? I'm trying to understand the emotion. Oh dear. Help me, help me. All right, hey Zoe, how you doing, Zoe? Zoe, what are your thoughts about this? Talk to me, talk to me. Just be Walter? Okay, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I don't want to play it on air, but I can definitely check it out. Let's go to Suno on the back end. And I guess I can just listen for a quick second. Let me see if I can find you. Is it the one that's a big blaster? Is that you? Chip tune? Is that you? Let's check it out. No, that's not you. How does it work on Suno? Is it forward slash at then the name? Oh, I see you. Is that so? That's you as a studio. 1,500 followers. Chicago blues R&B. All right, I see you. Oh, R&B jams. Okay, let's check it out. I'm listening. That's nice. There's one that looks like very looks very Taraji-ish. Okay, it's not her. It has devotion written on her head. Okay, you got some good jams. Nice. Southern blues. Okay. Like that saxophone. That's an interesting beginning. Okay. Very growly voice. Okay. Let's see your. Wow. Okay. The red flag. That's like your biggest one. So, B. Walter, tell me the voice on red flag. Is that a human? You got 465 likes on that one. And I mean, it's again a very good case study as to what gets people excited, what gets people want to listen to music, whether it's AI or not. Yeah, your music sounds good. It sounds the red flag. I'm just curious about that voice. Is that the real voice or is that I haven't heard that voice in Suno, I tell you. Yeah, let me follow. I'm gonna follow you in my AI music account. Well, thanks for coming on and letting us know. Yeah. AI, the world of AI music is very interesting, and what I like about it is you cannot predict. You cannot predict what's going to happen next. But I feel that the quality of your music is going to separate you from anyone else. If you put in the effort, you master the prompts, and you master whatever you're trying to say. I also think that as time goes on, you got to develop a persona behind those tracks because even the almost real folks, what they would do is put a face, and even though it was really comedic seeing the different artists in, you know that it's them, but it's not them. But that persona, it kind of creates at least an anchor point for the music. So I can see what you've been doing there, B. Walter. Yeah, good deal. All right, my friends, for those of you who are just coming, we are having an epic debate. We're trying to understand what does this mean for the future of music, and we're also trying to debate whether skeptics just drinking their own sick Kool-Aid, because the skeptics who said AI music will never flourish, you folks are frauds. No one's going to listen to that garbage. Now we see a potential for $80,000 from one channel, and they're barely even getting started. And I'm not saying they made this. I'm saying when you add up the numbers, there's definitely millions and millions and millions to be made from AI music covers. If the likes of UMG and Warner and Sony will remotely let you touch their artist material. And honestly, I have a feeling that they're not going to do anything with this stuff until they're done with the Suno Udio lawsuit. I can't see this superseding, or I can't see this taking the front row seat until all that stuff is settled. Who knows how it's going to play out? It's going to be interesting. That's all I can say. KP says, when you listen to and watch a music video, if you cannot listen or watch the whole thing, then you do not know what you're missing. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Gio says, sample my vocals so I can get better accuracy for the scripture stuff. Nice. Okay. Awesome. And I know a lot of people use Audemy and other tools to clone their voices, and that's perfectly cool. Whatever you need to do, my philosophy is the only person you're in competition with should be you. Are you the best version of yourself with the tools? Or if you want to go without the tools, are you just the best version of yourself with the resources you've got? Because the only person you should be fighting with, powering up on, competing with is you. And you know when you've been lazy on those tracks. I know when I've been lazy. I know. I just fess up. I've been lazy. I didn't cook it. I didn't cook it the way I should. Or I didn't cook it the way I cook other things. And you have a choice. I'm not trying to guilt trip myself or anyone else, because there are times you just feel, okay, this track, it's not worth the extra cook time. This is as good as it's going to get. And the other times when you just go insane, like spending 9, 10 hours, like our friend Wave AI Sonic spent 5 days on a track and a video. That's what I call dedication. That's dedication. Indeed. Yeah, you gotta keep competing with yourself and calling out yourself for good work. When you've done good work, you gotta give yourself a pat on the back. And that's what a lot of these folks are saying about the almost real person. I don't know who it is, but a lot of the accolades they keep saying it's so clean, it's so good. And while there's all that copyright stuff, yes, but I guess what we can learn from this channel is if you put out good stuff, people will listen. I know they have the lyrical advantage, but nonetheless, the stuff sounded good. People were beginning to think they took the stems outside, doctored it outside, even as far as thinking maybe the person sang with their own voice on it and then took it into another tool and did some stuff. But who knows? Who knows? B. Walter says AI's future is personal. It's about your own avatar. There you go. There you go. Absolutely. And honestly, if you're doing you, if you're just doing you, doing yourself, right? Not trying to compete with the other AI creators, you find your voice, you find your audience for what you have to say. Because I believe if you have something to say, I'll listen. But if it's all about making money, that's a very quick way to lose your audience. And your audience will know when you're putting garbage out. They'll know. They will not be listening. They'll not be listening. Yeah. I can't count the amount of creators I've heard from. So many of them that tell me, Phil, I heard what I created with Suno and I started crying. I heard what I created with whatever tool and it moved them to tears. And I got stories to tell. I created stuff and I played it for my 91-year-old mom, and she starts laughing because I prompt the most ridiculous stuff in Suna when I'm just trying to work her up into laughter. I know the inside jokes that we share. Being from the African side of the world, there's all these innuendos and jokes. And the funny thing, believe it or not, Suno knows how to speak all sorts of languages. It's crazy. Suno is sick. So you can have a blast. Have you ever written a song for family member? Just a family member you have an inside joke with. I'm not, just it could be anything. Like my kids, when I want to get them worked up, I create rubbish just to get an emotion out of them, to just rattle the chain a little bit, and it's fun. Not everyone is in the world of AI music to take the bag from the UMGs and the Warners. Some of us just love doing what we do. We just have a blast, right? And that's the way our mentality needs to be. Make songs for yourself, make songs for family, make birthday songs. Just have fun first and foremost, and then just speak your truth. That's how I see it. But for those of you who are just coming, yeah, this is a marathon debate. We wanted to talk about the almost real people, and we're getting towards the end. We've spent a full 1 hour talking about this. I don't begrudge anyone that wants to have fun. I understand a lot of people are emotional about this. A lot of people, while we're talking about the topic of mental health, when you read through the lines, you have a lot of crying emojis. And I'm not justifying anything. I'm just saying people have been touched by AI music. What does the future hold? Drop me a comment if you're watching this after the fact. I want to know what you think. I want to give a big shout out to all of our friends for coming through today. Everyone who shared a comment: Zoe, B. Walter, Geo the Explorer, KP, NLJ, Fizo. Thank you all for coming through. Everyone who was here right from the beginning. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. And I look forward to knowing more. I know we've got a lot of people on, and I know it's normally in subscriber mode, but today I left it so that everyone could comment. But it was the old faithfuls who commented. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, Victor, how you doing, Victor? Thank you for coming through. What do you think, Victor? What do you think of this new adventure with AI music? Have you tried GPT to prompt that NLJ? Male female core response? Yeah. Yeah, Victor, what do you think about the cover channel? Did you know about Almost Real? And how painful could that feel? I remember, because I've been in this world before. It takes me back to, some of you are just going to groan. Some of you are not going to know what this is. MySpace. I had a channel on MySpace that overnight I got some insane views. It was a Christmas album called Urban Christmas back in '07, thereabouts. And I got so many views. And the next day, for some reason, which I don't know till this day, shut down. The entire thing, all the views I got, all the traction, all the likes from a number of, key personalities back in the day, shut down. So when this happens, I can understand. And you know what I'll say to whoever owns that channel, Almost Real or similar channels? If your channel was shut down, you need to take a pause. And it seems like that's what they're doing, and asking the question, how can I make this right? Right? And watch this. This may go against the grain. You now have an army of fans, 242,000 fans. You got songs. Why hesitate creating content that isn't going to be stopped? You already have a method to the madness. Put your own stuff out. Write your own stuff while you're working the process. Because your fans, you see, I'm into all this motivational stuff, right? And one of the people I listen to, his name is John Maxwell, and he says, people buy into you as a person first. They buy into you first, and then they buy into your stuff. So they bought into you. 200 and something thousand subscribers on YouTube, on Spotify. Dude, come on now. Release some stuff. Do your own music. Do you for a bit, and you will get traction, because the fans, they're hungry. How long are they gonna wait? This could play out for years, UMG, Warner, Sony. I mean, look at Rick Beato and how that stuff is playing out. Whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole, strike, strike, fight the strike. For how long? Come on now. Put some stuff out. Put some stuff out. Victor says, I feel uneasy using other people's stuff, especially lyrics. Are you kidding me? Absolutely, Victor. That stuff makes me uneasy. Um, yeah, not a good idea. Except you're doing the cover word for word, melody for melody, and you're like, take your money. It ain't mine. Like NLJ said. Yeah. All right, my friends. I appreciate all of you coming through and sharing your opinions. I guess we just got to see this thing play out. Let's keep watching it and seeing where this goes. Okay? Thank you all very much. Appreciate you. And hopefully, I'll be seeing you very soon. Well, oh, B. Walter shared a mind blowing thought that for a second, I was thinking, hmm, is this a social experiment? But then when I saw the reactions and I felt, nah, maybe it's not a social experiment. But you're very correct. B. Walter is right on the money. Who knows? There you go, Zoe. Back in the day. Back in the day. Thank you, NLJ. Thank you, KP. Thank you, B. Walter. Victor. Appreciate you, folks. Thank you, Fizo. Everyone else who came through. Appreciate you. Au revoir. Keep creating. Keep rocking the music. Bye for now.